Hi Delvers, welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we'll be talking about the string functions. I know in our previous lessons, we've spoken about the different data types that are used in SQL. Now, why are these functions important? You see, when it comes to querying or trying to write your SQL codes, it's important that you know the data type of the data type you're using, and then the functions help you, I'll use this word loosely, play around the data types. So using the functions, you can then manipulate, change, interact with the data types you're using. I've explained before, one of the data types that we use in SQL is string. And strings obviously refers to names, basically a put together of letters, basically. So in this particular lesson, we'll be talking about the functions that are used for strings. That is, our play around kits, if at all, used when dealing with strings. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the length. There are various ones. I'm not sure we can go through everything now. I'll go through some now. We'll go through a few more in the following lesson, but I'll just talk about like the major ones that are quite common. So at least by doing that, we'd have covered most things or most string functions that have been used. The first one I'll consider is what we call the length. So say I want to select everything, or select name. So I want to select, oh no, that's not what I wanted. So I want to select name from the table called city. So I'm just going to load that quickly. All right, so that's the name of the cities. Obviously top 10, filtered top 10. Now, say for example, I'm not really interested in the name of the city. I'm actually interested in the count or the number of letters used in that name. Now you're going to ask, why is this important? I mean, there are various use cases when it comes to working in data analysis. Now, sometimes you want to work with a particular data and you are more interested, right, in how long or how short the name is or this is. And that's where we play around these things. Sometimes we want to even convert. There are times I want to convert from letters to numbers and all of those things. So now, say for example, I'm interested not in the name, but the length of the name. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say select name. Then I'm going to say select the length of the name. Now, of the name. If I load that up now, can you see now? Say for example, I just want to say, I just want to name that len. I'm just going to reload that now. All right, so you can see now you have this, and obviously that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. Obviously that's 8. That's 5. That's 14. So, and I can filter this whichever way I want. Say for example, now I can filter this and say from the least to the greatest, from the longest name to the shortest name, from the longest character. From the name that has the longest character to the name that has the shortest character. You understand? I can begin to change this whichever way I want. Now, another thing we can do also is, I'm just going to load this again. All right. Another syntax function we can use also is what we call the upper. Say, for example, I want to place everything in uppercase. So I will just need to change the length there to upper. It's not coming up here. Upper. Look at you. Yeah. I'm just going to change that to A, for example. If I load that now, can you see now? That looks a bit weird, but every single name is now an upper. Then you have lower, which basically is just doing the opposite of upper. I'm just going to put in lower there. I'm going to put in lower. I'm going to load that up now. And that's the opposite. Then you have trim. Now, trim would not really be applicable here. But what's the idea of trim? The idea of trim is that it removes white spaces from either the left side or the right side. So you have two types of trim. You have the L trim, which removes white spaces from the left only, and you have R trim, which removes white spaces from the right trim. Now, why is this important? There are times where people have inputted data and say, for example, they added a space before they typed in, or they added a space after they typed in, and the space is causing an issue when you're trying to manipulate or analyze the data. So sometimes we use the trim because it helps us cut out any excess. It helps us cut out a white space before a particular word, or a white space after the word. That's when we use trim, and it's just as simple as just writing L trim. You won't see much difference here, other than it's going to go back to the exact one, because I've checked in and there's nothing there. There are no white spaces around it, so it's just going to go back to the initial one, which is basically what's going to do. So you have the trim, which is also important. Now you also have what is called left. Now this allows us just take some characters from the string and it starts from the left side. So say for example, I'm only interested in the first 3 letters of those names, so I can use left. Now, the important thing with left is you must specify the colon, which we have specified name, and I must specify how many characters am I looking for. So say for example, I only want 2 characters or 3 characters, for example. So I want to start from the left, so I want 3 characters. That means I'm going to just see KAB there, then QAN, then HER. I'm just going to reload that now. And there it is. So these are ways of manipulating, or maybe manipulating is not the word, playing around, right? Strings. And we have many more. I will stop with right, which basically is just the opposite of left. It's just that it starts from a different side. So put in right, and I'm going to reload that. So obviously you know what's going to do. Let's reload that. And it takes it, obviously start from the back, but obviously takes the 3 letters from the back. So you have BUL there, you have HER, there you have rat, you have reef, you have dam, AAG, CHT, VEN, URG. So that's the concept basically of string functions. In our next lesson, we'll talk about some other string functions like substring, which is very, very important when it also comes to playing around with your data. Substrings are very, very important. So we'll talk about that in our next lesson. And I believe that you have learned 1 or 2 things from this lesson. In our next lesson, we'll talk about substrings, and I'm so sure that would also help you in your journey of becoming a data analyst. See you in the next one. Bye.